Hey everyone, welcome to today's video about the time I went to a mental hospital for being too drunk. I'm doing this video because I want to raise awareness for alcoholism and for mental illness, and I am not in any way, shape or form glorifying my experience. So if you like this video, maybe subscribe and I'll tell more stories about stupid shit that I've done while being way too drunk. Oh god. Okay, so the sun is gonna start setting pretty soon because I had to wait until the end of the day because it is so hot here in Australia. But let's stop talking about random nonsense that doesn't matter and let's start talking about the time that I got really drunk and ended up in a mental hospital. There will be a lot of this story that I won't remember, but I'll tell what I can. So this was in the year 2013. I've spoken about this in a few of my videos, and in a few of my videos it was 2013. So I have been doing YouTube since 2009. So if you want to see me in 2013, you most certainly can. But it was a really crazy year for me. I had just found independence. In 2011, I'm gonna say, I moved out from my mom's house, mom's unit, apartment, whatever. And she was an alcoholic, so that was like, woohoo, freedom. And the thing is, I moved in with my boyfriend at the time, which ended up being a lot more controlling, a lot more loss of myself. And then in 2012, I got out of that relationship. So 2013, I was kind of just being an adult for the first time, or being a teenager for the first time actually, because all of the time that I was in high school, I was pretty much looking after my mom. Well, at least in the last 2 years of high school, I was looking after my mother. And then after that, I was looking after the apartment that my boyfriend and I lived in, and my job was to cook and clean. And I wasn't allowed to upload videos, but I was. I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things. I wasn't allowed to do a lot. I was allowed to work, I was allowed to give him my money, I was allowed to come home, and I was allowed to clean the house. And that was kind of it. So basically when 2013 rolled around, I was wild. I started going out for the first time in my entire fucking life. The only time before that I had really gone out was one time when I was with my boyfriend at the time, and it was awful. I mean, there was probably more than once. There was like a few times. It was always, you know, sit here, do this, wear this, look like this, smile at this, talk about this. And I'm like, so when 2013 rolled around and I was finally being myself, I went a little bit overboard. I was going out a lot and I was drinking away things that I didn't want to think about, and I was sleeping with a lot of people, and I'm not in any way shaming anyone who sleeps with lots of people, because I have, and I'm not in any way promoting it. So, you know, have sex if you're comfortable. I would suggest doing it if you're at least semi-sober, because there were a lot of stupid decisions that I made when I was really drunk. A lot of really stupid decisions that I made when I was drunk. This was actually one of them. And this is kind of like a combination of everything kind of coming to a head. Like it's all, I don't know what was going on at my life at the time. That's right, it would have been after August, I think. Because on the Eka public holiday, Eka is like, we have this exhibition, this royal fair thing, and it's like a carnival with rides and farm animals. It's totally exhilarating. But we get a public holiday for it, and that's also around the time that we get tax. And I had just done my first lot of tax, and I had been working since I was about 15. I was 19, 20 at the time? No, I would have been 20 at the time. And I had a shitload of money, and I went out and I made some friends. I made new friends on the Eka public holiday. One we'll call, fuck, I have to give them names. One I slept with, we'll call him Mischief, and the other one I didn't sleep with to my knowledge. And I know that sounds really bad. Obviously, I made friends with them, so I like hung out with them a few times. Mischief, I slept with on the first night that I met him, and there are some terrible photos of us at the club. After that, I kind of stayed in contact with them, and I made friends with his friend, who we will call Shorty. And Shorty and I don't know, we were kind of the friends that got each other drunk and did stupid shit together. And we only hung, I had, at this time, I had a lot of friends that I only hung out with when we were both drunk. And I didn't really know them, I just knew that they liked to drink like I did, and it was just, that was my life. That was my life. This is really embarrassing. Also, my parents don't know this story. They don't know that I've been to a mental hospital. So I don't know how this is gonna go down if they find it. And I'm gonna hug my knees because I need some cuddling. So Shorty and I would go to the Elephant and Wheelbarrow, and we would eat and drink because they had cheap food. I'm glad that we ate sometimes. And one night, I can't remember where we had been or what we had been doing or how we had gotten back to my house. I honestly have no idea what this particular night was up until being at my house. And we were in my bedroom, and it was like stupid o'clock at night. And I was drunk, he was drunk, we're both fucking drunk. This is an insane story. I can't believe I'm telling the internet. Anyway, we're in my bedroom and we were just hanging out. We were listening to Bass Hunter because Bass Hunter is Swedish and a musician that Shorty likes. I liked him in high school, you know. Anyways, we're listening to Bass Hunter and just dancing and singing to each other. It was so gay. And everything was fine. Shorty and I were just having a fun time being stupid in my bedroom. And then I think I turned my laptop webcam on and started recording a video of us. Again, I was really drunk. We weren't doing anything, but then he started getting pushy and asking me to kiss him. And for whatever reason, I started feeling really uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable. And because he was kind of a weird dude, like creepy. He's a creepy dude, and I can say that. And all of his friends think that he shouldn't be trusted around women, and I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I don't know. I've always kind of had this weird idea that I'm not an attractive female. And I hate saying that I've had that weird feeling that I'm not one, because then it's kind of inadvertently admitting that I know that I am. But I will let you guys decide whether you think that I'm an attractive female or not. I don't think so. Other people seem to. But it was one of those nights where I was just hanging out with one of my friends, and my friend happened to be a man who was same size as me, skinnier than me even, and this friend started wanting to kiss me, and I felt uncomfortable, and God, this is such a stupid story. I started screaming for my housemates to save me because I thought I was being raped, and I was fighting him off as if I was being raped, and I was not going gentle. I wasn't going gentle at all. And then at one stage he kind of went quiet, like because he was trying to fight me off him, he was trying to fight me off him when I was trying to fight him because I thought I was being raped. Really stupid, and I'm not in any way, shape or form saying that what I did was the right thing. I'm not saying that I'm proud of my actions. It's just, this is what happened, okay? So we're on the floor and I think I was straddling him and hitting him. Then he just kind of stopped fighting. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, I stopped, obviously, as soon as I realized he wasn't responding. Now, remember, I was incredibly drunk, stupidly drunk, and I could have sworn that his heart stopped beating and he stopped breathing. So I was like, fuck. And I'm drunk, okay? I'm drunk out of my mind. And so I'm trying to like wake him up, and I was like, okay, I gotta call 13 Health, which is a hotline where you can speak to nurses about health problems which aren't emergencies. So if you have a rash and you don't understand it, or if you have a cough and you're like, should I go to a doctor about this? That's what you call them for. And I was like, hey, so friend just stopped breathing and we're really drunk. What do I do? Like, how do I stop him from dying? Like, he's dead kind of thing. I thought he was dead. He wasn't. And then he must have just fallen asleep or something. I don't know. Maybe he went unconscious. I really don't know. I have no idea. Somehow I ended up calling an ambulance thinking that my friend had died, and I ran out to the street to meet the ambulance because I was scared that my friend was gonna die, and I was like, where are they, where are they, where are they? And then, for whatever reason, I started strangling myself and lying on the floor trying to strangle myself. And then when the ambulance came, they had no idea what was going on, because my friend was totally fine. He had no idea what was going on, because I guess he just blacked out for a couple of minutes, and I thought he had died, so an ambulance got called, and then I was strangling myself, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, just imagine, like, from the perspective of the the paramedics, like, showing up to a scene where a girl's strangling herself on the street, like, literally on the street, not even on the footpath, not in my, like, front yard, like, on the street, on the road. Yeah, and you're here to look after the guy who's totally fine, going, what the fuck is going on? So the paramedics are like, what are you doing? What's going on? And I should have just been like, whoops, accident, you know, see you later. Although it did turn out that he had asthma, I think. So I think they treated him for some asthma attack, or maybe, I don't know. I think so. I mean, again, I was really drunk. Like, I don't do this shit when I'm not really drunk. And so they ended up taking me to the hospital because I kept wanting to kill myself. Next thing I know, no, that's right, oh my god, getting to the, okay, this is such a fucking stupid story. This is, I'm so embarrassed and ashamed that this has happened. Anyway, on the way in the ambulance, one of the paramedics was joking around with my friend Shorty about me. And I started firing up and getting really violent and stuff, and they were laughing at me. I was like, don't fucking laugh at me. And then I was like, you know what, I'll get them? Start choking myself again. It was the stupidest thing ever, and that happened constantly throughout the entire fucking trip. And I don't know why the fuck this guy didn't think maybe I should stop making jokes about her trying to kill herself kind of thing, you know? I will have it be noted, yes, I have got depression and I have suffered with suicidal thoughts for quite a while. So obviously he didn't know that. But anyways, get to the hospital, and the next thing I know, I'm waking up, remembering vaguely that I'm in hospital. And a nurse walks past and calls the, fuck, what did she call it? Some ward, some special ward, and says that I'm ready for this ward. I don't remember any of the admission or anything. And I can't remember if I was walked to this special ward or if I was wheeled there or what. I literally have no idea. But then I remember, sitting in the waiting room of the psych ward. I'm just sitting there and they're just waiting for me to sober up. This is the next morning, by the way. And every so often they'd come and give me a breathalyzer test because they can't give you any mental health treatment or assessment until you are sober. I was too drunk. I was too drunk to get any form of treatment. I can't remember if it was before or after my assessment. They brought cookies and orange juice. I remember that very clearly because I was like, man, this is like food. But then I was like, fuck, I should have asked for a coffee. But then I was like, I'm in hospital, that's kind of weird. Anyway, fucking, this is my mind at the stage. This is just so stupid. I can't believe this has happened. But I feel like I'm glad it happened to me because maybe one of you guys aren't drinking yet and you're thinking about this when you start drinking. That's my goal. That is why I'm telling this story. Literally the only reason I'm telling this story is because I don't want you guys making the same stupid mistakes that I made. There was another guy there. I remember everything was blue in this room. I think I asked if I could leave because I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Like, I'm fine. They're like, no, you can't go until we've assessed you and made sure that you're safe to yourself and to society. I was like, that's a fair fucking point. Sit back down, continue waiting, breathalyze me again, still fucking drunk. So I don't know how long I was waiting there. That's right. This was also the night that I lost my phone. That is a story. I'm not going to add this onto this one. Maybe I will. It's a short story. Anyways. Yeah, that's right, because when the ambulance came, they're like, all right, grab your phone and stuff so that, you know, grab your keys and stuff so that you can come back. And I tried to find my phone. I was like, I fucking lost my phone. Anyways, in the mental hospital, sitting there, and when I finally sobered up, they assessed me and they realized that I was pretty depressed and shouldn't really be drinking. And this must have been towards this was August of 2013, and they kind of put me onto this program to help me sober up. And it was really beneficial. It was a study, so I guess I was a guinea pig, but I'm so glad that that happened. Basically what they did is every month they'd give me a call. I think it was every month or every 2 weeks, something like that. They started off with an assessment of, you know, where I was and why I did things, and it was very comprehensive. I think it was run by the PA and QUT, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, no one's gonna correct me because I don't know about the study. I don't know, I think it was those two. So I would have these phone calls and we'd talk about, you know, why I was drinking. It turned out it was a level of impulsivity that was leading me to just, when I had one drink, I was like, fuck it, let's get wasted. I'm just very impulsive. I'm hard to control, I guess. Yeah, they kind of went through all that, and we put in place different ways for me to work through a night where I would be drinking. And the best part of it was I got paid, because they, you know, that was the weirdest part. Looking back on it, I'm like, I got paid to get treated. Like, what? Let's do that again. But it was really helpful. I can't remember, the assessment was, I mean, I've seen multiple psychologists, so I think the assessment was just the same as any other assessment. You know, do you remember what happened last night? Do you know why you were doing it? You know, does this happen to you often? You know, because I mean, they've just met a stranger with no backstory, and then they're like, tell me the backstory, and then I tell the backstory, and they're like, huh. Oh yeah, so after I had done my assessments and been given the whole all clear to leave, I'll never forget one thing. I was like asking one of the nurses, you know, where's the bathroom? They're like, oh yeah, come in. And she said, and I was still drunk in the morning, and this was before I'd had my assessment, so I wasn't sober enough to talk to people. Like, literally, that's how I'm going to explain myself. I wasn't sober enough to talk to people, because she was saying, don't go into that one, the boys pee all over it, use this one. But I thought she said, use that one. So I went in there, I was like, well, this is fucking nasty, and then I couldn't remember where the other one was, but I was like, fuck it, I've peed in fucking worse places than this. And I had. I peed in some nasty places. My life is, I'm getting my life together now, and I'm glad that I have these terrible stories that I can teach you guys from my experiences. Yeah, that is the time that I went to a mental hospital for being way too drunk. And as for the phone, the next day, so I got discharged and I caught a taxi home, and Shorty was pacing the streets. He's still drunk. He's pacing the streets around where I live, and I was like, okay, hi. And he's like, oh, thank God. And he is bruised. He is battered and bruised. And I just remember looking at him going, did I do that? And knowing full well that I did. He looked bad. Anyway, I wonder if the paramedics tended to his bruises. I don't know. He didn't need stitches, so I didn't do that bad. Anyways, that's such a bad thing to say. So yeah, and he's like, oh my god, I missed you, I had no idea what happened, you know, I wasn't allowed to stay, and I was like, okay dude, whatever. Turned out he was in love with me. Go figure. After all of that, he was, oh, it was funny, because then we had to go and buy me a new phone, because I could not find my phone anywhere. And if you guys know what I'm like, I'm a mess. I'm a fucking mess. And I'd been sitting on the floor in my bedroom with my phone, and then when I went to go to the hospital, I couldn't find my phone, and I couldn't remember if I'd left it at the bar that we were at earlier the night. It was probably the Elephant and Wheelbarrow, to be honest with you, but I hadn't. Go to Telstra, recontract my phone, which is where you end the contract you were on and put it onto a new phone because you've lost the original one. And I got an iPhone 5, and I got a life-proof case because the old one was shattered, and I fucking hated the phone. Hated it! I hate the iPhone 5. I'm sorry, I hate it. I know there's probably lots of people who are like, why? There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm glad that I got home and realized that my iPhone 4, which was shattered, was under my yoga mat. So, you know, silver linings. And then the reason that I know that this guy was in love with me is because when we went to Telstra to get my new phone, we ran into one of his friends. And it was awkward as shit, because I was like, oh yeah, whatever. And then Shorty was like, oh, and he was like really uncomfortable. I was like, righto. And his friend was like, oh, is this your, and then he's like, I don't know, it was just, you could just tell, like his friend wanted to say, is this your girlfriend, you guys dating, whatever, and he wanted to say yes, but he was like, no, I haven't asked her yet. So yeah, he was in love with me, I beat him up, I tried to kill myself, I ended up in a mental hospital, then I bought a new phone, found my old phone, sold my new phone, went back to my old phone, and and the rest is history. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at it, but it's not funny. It's not funny, guys. Please do not make the same mistakes I made. Look after yourselves. That's one thing that I will say I wasn't doing at all. I was not looking after myself. So please look after yourselves. Be smart if you do choose to drink. Please be smart about it. Always have a friend to look after you in case you nearly get raped by someone that you end up killing. I'm laughing because I'm making jokes, I'm sorry. You guys will see me in the next video, which will be another story time about when I was drunk, possibly, maybe. So make sure you subscribe. Anyways, you guys will see me in the next one, so make sure you subscribe so that you can see me then, and yeah. Bye!